so fresh, so creamy.
This is such a smart dish. Like, it was thoughtfully produced.
And a little bit of coffee bitters, and that was delicious.
Yeah.
Everyone say, class dismissed.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by the following sponsors, whom we gratefully acknowledge for their steadfast support during these uncertain times.
At Redwood Credit Union, we help people achieve their financial goals together, offering customized full-service personal and business banking for the North Bay and San Francisco. Redwood Credit Union.
Total Wine & More, offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More, now with 9 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com. The Bay Area airport that's close and reliable. iFlyOAK.com.
It's the national recognition for healthcare equality. It's 1,000 things, big and small. Sutter Health.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sbrocco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. Now we have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. This week, we're going back to school with 3 teachers on the set. Nurse instructor Puja Sarna teaches us in the ways of her relaxed yet sophisticated spot in Walnut Creek. And elementary school teacher Brenna Gustafson explains the wonders of Asian-influenced grain bowls in Oakland. But first, 5th grade teacher Tiffany invites us to her Italian class. It's here we'll learn to relax, smell the ragu, pick up an Italian phrase or 2, and even maybe a classic Neapolitan song. You might think you're in Naples instead of Danville. This is Locanda Ravello.
Welcome. Good to see you.
Modern restaurant, this is my house. People, they trust me. I love to make people feel very warm and comfortable, a feeling they are in Europe, they are in Napoli. Welcome to Locanda Ravello here in Danville. I'm Enzo Rosano, and I'm the owner of this beautiful restaurant. Ravello is a small town in the Amalfi coast. That's where we're coming from, Napoli. Now we spend a lot of time in summer growing up in the Amalfi coast. We love a very clean, delicious food. A good, strong olive oil, a good cherry tomato. You know, you don't need that much, you know? A little white wine, extra virgin olive oil, a little capers, simple and delicious, you know? Mama Camela, she is the chef founder of all Locandas. And after 20 years, we still have Mama Camela the meatball, the lasagna, the eggplant parmigiana, the gnocchi. Mama Camela gnocchi, it became famous all over. Danville is a beautiful community, and we love it. Everybody, they know each other, very loyal, they like to support their own restaurant. Because, you know, it is like a little bit in Europe, you know? People come very nice, casual with the short, and they have a wonderful time.
Tiffany, how did you discover your spot?
Yeah, so I grew up in Danville, and I've been there my entire life. And a couple years ago, people started talking about Locanda Ravello, and they started saying that this restaurant is so wonderful, and it's just so quaint, and the food is delicious. And so we went a couple years ago for my husband's birthday, and we've been going back ever since.
How many times have you been? Just guess.
Oh, I can't even count how many times we've been, especially now that I have one due. The cravings are margarita pizza.
Is your daughter or son craving that as well?
Yes,
too?
he bounces every time we have it.
That's the new way to measure whether a restaurant's good, if your baby's kicking. So, do you get any appetizers?
Yes, we do.
Let's start with those.
We always get either the Brussels sprouts or the Mama Carmela's meatballs. So the way they make the Brussels sprouts is they do it in such a way where they fry them, but the outside is crispy and the inside is it's juicy and chewy, and it has all that great flavor, and it meshes perfectly with that crispy outside.
And I saw you over here going,
We
tell me
also
about
got
that.
their Brussels sprouts,
Okay.
but they have this balsamic glaze that is delicious.
Yeah.
But this like sweet glaze that's like thick but really flavorful. Yeah, that was the highlight for us.
What did you start with?
Yeah, we started with cocktails. I had the paper plane, which is, I think it's called the paper plane because it transports you. It's a very alcohol-forward citrus beverage. It was shaken so hard by the bartender that there were little shards of ice in the glass and a nice froth. I feel like their drinks are quality-made drinks. We really enjoyed it. It stayed cold for a long time, and it was a nice way to start the evening. We also cheated and had the porcini mushroom pizza as an appetizer.
There is no cheating.
I mean,
There is no. You're a teacher, but there is no cheating. Well, when it comes to pizza, there is no.
Yeah. And it was delicious. It had this great, chewy, toothsome crust. And when I was traveling in Naples, like my favorite thing was the pizza, and they do a remarkably good job.
Well, Enzo, the owner, is actually from Naples. You know, there is a lot of authenticity.
Absolutely. In fact, as soon as you go in there, Enzo and the entire staff just greet you in Italian, and they're super welcoming, and it's just really got a really nice vibe.
Did you get that vibe? Did you get a friendly vibe when you went?
You know, I felt like one of the most remarkable things about that restaurant was that like true Italian personality that came out. Like you felt warmly welcomed, and there was like just like a generosity of spirit.
And did you, after the Brussels sprouts, did you do anything else?
Yeah, so I think we ordered wrong. We got one of everything. So we got the Brussels sprouts, we got the meatball pizza, because we were like, oh, we want the meatballs, but we want to get everything. So we got the meatballs on the pizza, and the meatballs were delicious. The crust was delicious, but the inside got super weighed down. So that was a disappointment.
Outside of the pizzas, what else do you get?
We always change every time we go because we like to try different things on the menu. But a lasagna is one of our favorites, and the panzerotti is another one of our favorites. They make the pasta there, which is really nice and fresh.
Explain to me the lasagna, because this is a family recipe, right?
Yes. Basically just like really light layers of the pasta in between this San Marzano tomato sauce and then a little bit of that ground meat in between. And it's very, very surprisingly light, but you feel full, but not overly heavy when you're done, which makes it a really nice dish.
Did you have the lasagna? You're shaking your head.
No, and I'm wishing we had.
But did you have the Cambrian chili oil?
No.
Oh my God! I mean,
Again,
like,
I think we just ordered wrong.
so you should come with me next time.
Exactly.
They had this Cambrian chilies saturated in this like garlic oil, and
What did you have it with?
I had the panzerotti, the half moon shaped pasta, stuffed with spinach and ricotta. And it came out in this like brown butter sage sauce, and it was deceptively simple but so tasty. I don't know, it just like it made you appreciate how fresh and flavorful those ingredients were, and I think that's just like very true of Naples style cooking, is that it's intended to highlight the ingredients, you know. But being Indian, I like it spicy, and so I just kind of drizzled the Cambrian chili oil
On everything.
Well, I wish they sold it there, like to take home. I would have definitely taken a bottle home.
Yeah. Desserts.
Well, so for dessert, we got the tiramisu because it's Italian, and that was fine. But then the waiter was like, oh, we have these donuts that are a big favorite, and you know, they're lightly fried, and they were just not good. And so we said, I'm so sorry, but we're going to send those back. And he was absolutely kind and understanding and took it off the bill, and you know, all of that.
Did you have the donuts?
It was like one of the best things I ate last year.
So clearly it was an off night.
I mean, I'm a nurse. I eat a lot of donuts. I'm not. I don't want to say like my palate is better than yours, but we really enjoyed those donuts.
No, and they seemed like they would have been fantastic.
So we were seated in the back dining room, and we were like, you know, thinking about dessert, and this woman next to us literally grabs my arm and says, "Get the zippolini. Don't ask questions." And I was like, "Oh." So, are you touching me? So we got the donuts, and I had a cup of black coffee. We had these piping hot donuts that were covered in sugar and cinnamon and drizzled with Nutella, and it was really like one of the best things I ate.
Yeah.
They're always so light, so airy, so crisp on the outside, so delicious on the inside.
And I felt like we would go back just because dessert was so seductive.
We just had an off night. It's okay.
Well, don't worry, you have an offer to go back.
But we will be getting the donuts. And okay.
Gina, well, this is your spot, Tiffany. Wrap it up for us.
If you're looking for a locally owned and authentic Italian experience, I would say head to Danville and try Locanda Ravello.
Okay, and Brenna?
If I was back in Danville again, I would give it a second shot because those Brussels sprouts were delicious.
And Puja?
For an experience of true Italian hospitality in the heart of Danville, try Locanda Ravello.
If you would like to try Locanda Ravello, it's located on Prospect Avenue at Front Street in Danville. It's open for lunch and dinner every day, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $45. After a long day teaching her 31 fourth graders, Brenna often finds herself dining at home with her family. But when she has the luxury of going out, there's not a better spot than her choice in Oakland. It's a place for guilt-free indulgence that's sure to leave her feeling healthy and cared for after her meal. With monthly cooking and nutrition workshops, this is Cafe Umami.
I used to work for the biotech company, and I used to be a scientist. And then in the meantime, I just have a chance to work in the Japanese cuisine. And I was really into this kind of whole food and nutritionally dense cooking. I want to serve the food which is beneficial to the community and make us healthy. So our food is really humble, and our food is basically grain bed. We choose brown rice because brown rice has a lot of fiber and mineral in there, and also all the delicious toppings, sauerkraut and mushroom and kale and bulldog pickle, and also most of our food has a fermented product is in there. Lactic fermentation, it's not a recent thing. I mean, we thousands of years of history. Those kind of small bacterium is producing a lot of micronutrients. Having food here every day, and we can feel the difference.
What's a mushroom coffee?
Mushroom coffee. First time customer coming in and look at our menu. What is that? What is that? And can you give me a sample?
Can I add some avocado on this?
Most of our customer base is pretty loyal. I'm so grateful to have this great neighborhood and community support. And I'm so grateful for that.
All right, first off, I just think we all have to raise a glass to the fact that you have 31 fourth graders.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers
Right?
to that.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
We gotta drink up on that one.
Appreciate that.
Yes, so when you go out, you want to just take a load off, right?
First of all, it happens very rarely.
Right.
And then second, it's got to be good. So I found Cafe Umami. I was on maternity leave, actually. And my friend, one of my co-teachers, was like, hey, there's this place down the hill from your house. Let me take you to lunch. And so I walked down with said newborn, and it was amazing. I mean, it's this hole-in-the-wall place. I've walked past it a gazillion times. Never knew it was there. And I was blown away. I'd never had anything like it before. And growing up in Oakland, I have a lot of different kinds of food, and the flavors and just the depth, and it was just very different and delicious.
And what do you get?
So my go-to, I get a mochi muffin, and then I like a cup of coffee. They have High Wire coffee from Emeryville, which I love, which they have so many different kinds of coffee. They have like a mushroom coffee, they have a bone broth coffee, they have caffeinated, not caffeinated, brothy.
Yeah. I love it. And Tiffany, what did you start with?
We actually tried the miso latte. Yeah, which was, and they were so nice too. When we went to order it, she said, well, let me know if you don't like it. She just was like, it's a little bit of a taste, but it definitely tasted like a creamy miso with a little bit of foam on top. It was really good. Yeah. It was different. We actually, they were sold out of mochi muffins. We went around noon on a Sunday. They were sold out already, and I was like, so I was pretty bummed about that. And then we also got the sweet joke. The joke is like a porridge, and so it kind of has a little bit of that softer texture, but then it was really brightened up by the raspberries and blueberries, I think, with the sunflower seeds and a little bit of coconut, and so just like really was very flavorful, very bold. And my husband got the umami bowl, which was very fishy.
What did you think with the sardines?
Yeah, but he thought it was really filling, and he really enjoyed it.
Right. Well, what juke do you usually get?
Yeah, so every topping you can have is a rice bowl or a juke or a salad, and some of them you can get on a toast. I like the juke because I like that creamy, like porridge consistency. And so the power juke is one that has their homemade sausage and some egg, and then they always add in like the pickled
kale,
vegetables,
the burdock,
exactly,
cabbage,
and their tahini sauce that I love, and then they have a really good hot sauce that you can add on top.
And what did you have?
Well, so we actually also got the sweet juke, and I loved it. But the other thing that we got that I really loved was the veggie power bowl.
Yes.
I don't know, I just thought this is such a smart dish. Like, it was thoughtfully produced. Mine came with tempeh. There was pickled red cabbage, burdock root, kale, avocado slices, and just kind of like beautifully fanned out pieces of avocado. And the brown rice was mixed with this tahini sauce.
And they're real believers there in fermented foods.
Yeah.
And the health reasoning behind it.
Exactly. I like the kimchi toast, where they have the Acme bread and then they have their homemade kimchi on top.
And I love that you could take home like a vegetarian
Yes.
kimchi. And
Yeah, a
and
lot of
like
the
other
things you can
fermented
take
products.
to go. Yeah.
And I also appreciated that this was a restaurant that was trying to nourish you. You know, like they're on the same block of MacArthur Boulevard with the fast food giants, and this is like the little drummer boy that is just like, this is what we're serving because it's good for you and we care about our community. But I actually had the medicinal tea, which I thought was delicious.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually think it staved off a coming cold.
Exactly.
And I left there feeling like, you know, just kind of thinking about how innovative this restaurant was, and also feeling light and healthy.
And do you feel like you got value?
I do. I mean, I feel like you get a big bang for your buck. You can walk away spending $20 and have a 3-course meal. And as a teacher in Oakland, I find that exceptionally helpful. Yeah.
What about you?
I thought it was great value. I really did. I mean, and I thought they were so unpretentious about their food. Right?
Yeah. All right, Brenna, your restaurant, give us a quick summary.
So for a special hole-in-the-wall Oakland treat that makes you feel warm and cozy and full, that's Cafe Umami.
Okay, and Puja.
I think it's a local gem that is serving healthy food without tasting like health food.
All right, Tiffany?
I think a great local place with adventurous, unique flavors, but be sure to get there early for the mochi muffins.
If you would like to try Cafe Umami, it's located on MacArthur Boulevard at Fruitvale in Oakland. It's open for breakfast and lunch every day, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $15. Post your favorite food shots on Instagram at #BayAreaBites and have a chance to see your food pics on the show. When not working long shifts at the hospital or teaching her nursing students, Puja is always searching for delectable local cuisine. That's how she discovered her pick in Walnut Creek. Its homey style may be deceiving, but only until you taste the sophisticated offerings at Main Street Kitchen.
It's a great community, it's a beautiful small town. The weather is great. We are located on Main Street, so it made sense to call it Main Street Kitchen. Hi, I'm Arash Qasemi. I'm a chef owner of Main Street Kitchen here in Walnut Creek. Me and my wife who own this place, and a lot of credit to my wife because she's the one who designed this place. And you know, we try to be friendly. It's an open kitchen, so you can see what we do. We have nothing to hide. And when we say locally sourced, we really do mean it. We make almost everything here in the house. We are 100% farm to table. We use about 60–70% organic. We constantly are changing our menu. It happens on a weekly basis. One of the reasons is I do buy a lot of stuff at farmers market, so it's whatever we get our hands on, that's what we cook. I believe it was May 2nd, we opened our door again. And it's been a challenge. We were never known for doing food to go, so we're trying to do our best. Our guests been nothing but fantastic. We have built this relationship in the last 5 years. They've been great. They have bought a lot of gift cards. And they order 2-3 times a week. We've been having a lot of support from our regulars, also new people. That's the thing I love about restaurant. There is never a dull moment.
All right, Puja, we've got teachers here. You're a nurse and a teacher, right?
I am. I work as a nurse practitioner at the hospital, and I also teach nursing to UCSF nursing students.
And when you get a moment to relax, you go to this restaurant.
I do. I enjoy the Main Street Kitchen a lot. I love that when you walk in, it has this warm ambiance. There's also a bar looking into the kitchen. There's a wood-fired oven. It just has a really nice ambiance and feel.
A little eclectic touch, yeah.
And they serve their food in mismatched chinaware.
Right, so it's kind of homey, but in terms of the cuisine, you get a little more than just homespun. Right?
Yeah.
So what did you have, Brenna? Did you go for brunch or lunch?
We went for brunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they do brunch. We'll talk about brunch and lunch dinner.
Yeah. So I went with a bunch of parents. And so we were like, okay, this is our window. And so we started with the Bloody Mary, but we also had the penicillin and the early riser.
See,
and
it's healthy for you,
Irish
right?
coffee.
A shot of penicillin.
Yeah, delicious. It was the gin with a little bit of honey and ginger. And then the early riser was pretty much just a bunch of bourbon and a little bit of coffee bitters, and that was delicious.
Yeah.
But the Bloody Mary especially, we ordered a second round of those. They were extra good. Just the right amount of spice, you know, not overpowering tomatoey flavor. It was just like the right balance of everything.
Their cocktail list comes in like a very thorough, I think the teachers here could like appreciate the book.
Yeah.
And they're organized by.
I got to read aloud to my table.
I know. I giggle every time I prescribe penicillin now because I think it's featuring the there. You know, the sweet thing that we got with brunch was the mascarpone toast, and it was this lovely wheat Acme toast with a pile of mascarpone jam and a bit of honey, and you can kind of just assemble it yourself, and it was just such a lovely bite. It was like the silky, velvety mascarpone with the sweet notes of their jam, and it's made in-house just with like local fresh ingredients, and so I think that day it was pear, apple, and persimmon. They were delicious.
And what about you? Did you go for brunch?
We actually went for dinner.
You went for dinner.
Yes. So we started with the burrata toast, which, really, really delicious. Just so fresh, so creamy on top, and it was just such a nice balance and perfect way to start the meal.
I think it's just lovely, like the silkiness of the burrata.
I could have eaten a whole meal of the burrata toast.
I know. I kind of wish we had gotten 2 burrata toasts and 2 rounds of drinks, and then we would have been done.
And what about you in terms of brunch?
The chili quiles were our standout. Instead of like being on big strips of chips, it was slices. They didn't get soggy, they stayed crisp. The eggs were done perfectly. There was just the right amount of spicy with the salsa. The crema was a perfect balance with the salty ham. It was delicious.
Right.
But we also loved the Benedict. It was the from
me.
Yes, that ham Benedict was fantastic. The ham in general was in both the chili quiles and that Benedict, and it was just salty and rich. And in the Benedict, it really balanced well with the sweet hollandaise.
We actually got one of their salads, which I think were really inventive because they don't actually add that many greens to their salads. It's mostly ingredients, which I thought was really fun. I think it was with the beets and tangerines on a tiny bit of arugula with cheese, and that was really, really delicious as well.
Almost like a meal in itself, right?
Yeah, it was. And I have to say, the service was incredible when we were there. So attentive. They just were constantly coming by, and they recommended the chicken. And I have to say, it was incredible chicken.
Really?
I guess the almatones, they seared it between the 2 cast iron pans, and because of that, the outside is crispy and the inside is super tender. So you were able to actually cut the chicken with your fork. It was really delicious.
So you want to go for dinner?
Well, see, I mean, we were battling. Do we do brunch? Do we do lunch? Because a lot of those things were also on the lunch menu. So we definitely would like to come back for lunch or dinner.
All right, Puja, this is your spot. Give us a quick summary.
Check out Main Street Kitchen if you appreciate fresh fare, locally sourced in a family-friendly environment with great cocktails.
Okay, and Tiffany?
I would say after strolling through downtown Walnut Creek, Main Street Kitchen is the perfect place to enjoy a beautifully designed restaurant and great service.
And Brenna.
When in Walnut Creek, it's a fantastic brunch spot, excellent Bloody Marys. I want to go back for lunch or dinner.
All right, if you'd like to try Main Street Kitchen, it's located on Main Street at Duncan in Walnut Creek. It's open every day with brunch on the weekends, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $45. And that wraps up our teacher show. I want to thank my great guests on this week's show. Tiffany Go, who brought us to Naples via Danville for pizzas, pasta, and song at Locanda Ravello. Brenna Gustafson, who shared a meal packed with enough liveliness to energize 31 fourth graders at Cafe Umami in Oakland. And Puja Sarna, who unwrapped the perfect spot in Walnut Creek for seasonal ingredients served with relaxed sophistication at Main Street Kitchen. Join us next time when 3 more guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I'll see you then. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers. Did you have fun? I did. Woohoo. We really want to hear about your experiences at any of the restaurants we've been talking about. So keep in touch with us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And don't forget that you can watch any of the shows on our website at kqed.org/checkplease. It's where you'll find links to the restaurants and my notes on the wines we're drinking today. Cheers!
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by the following sponsors whom we gratefully acknowledge for their steadfast support during these uncertain times.
Cooking is the first kind of love you know. It was starting when I was a child, with my grandmother doing fresh pasta, and now I transmit it to all the guests. It's something made especially for them.
Oceana Cruises, proud sponsor of Check Please Bay Area.
It's the transplant procedure that didn't just save one life. It saved 6. It's 1,000 things, big and small. Sutter Health.
The Bay Area airport that's close and reliable. iFlyOAK.com. Total Wine & More offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More now with 9 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com.
At Redwood Credit Union, we help people achieve their financial goals together, offering customized full-service personal and business banking for the North Bay and San Francisco. Redwood Credit Union.